friends, it's Becky, and it is time for my sort of weekly wrap up and chat because the beads were good again this week. The last time I did my wrap up, it was a Wednesday, so this is going to be 1 week plus a little extra, a few extra days. So it's about a week and a half of what I had made. There were a few things that I made that were bead weaving, so that takes a lot longer to both figure out how to make it and then also to demonstrate it with the seed beads and all of those things. So we had a few of those. I had a lot of fun with SilverSilk this week, so that is a lot of my projects. And I also had a few things that I was super inspired by for some of the bead boxes to make, and I'm really excited to show those to you. Like, there are some really fun bead boxes that we got this month so far. So let's go down to the mat so that I can show them to you a little bit more closely. You can get a better look at them, and then after we do that, we'll jump back up here and I'll try them on for you. So here's everything that I made since last Wednesday. The first was I made some things with some seed beads, some 2-hole beads, and some SilverSilk. This was one that I didn't do on camera. I just really wanted to make another Ginkgo Kiss bracelet using the beads from the September Beads to Live By curated collections. That's what this one was. But then I also used the curated collections to make another one of these bracelets. When I made the previous versions, I used the Miyuki tile beads and some size 10 delicas with some SilverSilk flat mesh, and this time I used Ado seed beads and check tile pieces, and it makes this fantastic spooky season orange and black one. And then I also, because I wasn't done, beaded brick stitching onto flat mesh. I brick stitched some 8/0s and then kept going with some 6/0s and then some lentil beads and some 11/0s to make these earrings that, I don't know about you guys, but they kind of remind me of like peacock tails. No, maybe not peacock, maybe with these colors it's more turkey tails. I don't know, might be. But I made all of these too. And this both have videos for them. This one I followed, or I just used the same pattern that I did for a previous video that shows it in, I did it, was it earlier this year? Yeah, the Ginkgo Kiss one was earlier this year. So I'll link to all of these videos in the description in case you want to see them. And then I think the next thing that I did, still doing some bead weaving, I had a video where I made this pendant using some of these dagger beads and one of these coin beads. This was from the Market Marvels Sam's bead box. And then I did a second video with stringing it, and I just separated it into 2 videos so that if you just want the bezel, you can just watch that. Or you can watch both of them in a row to do that. This was the one that was curated by Danielle Wicks. So that was a really fun, super colorful Sam's bead box. And then I wanted to make a lariat necklace using some of these beads from the dollar bead box. And so I used some of these check glass beads to make a chain. And all of these, I didn't actually dip into the dollar bead bag at all for this. All of these came from the dollar bead box. And then I just wanted to do this little dangle with these points on there, and we'll take a look at how this looks when it's worn. So this was dollar bead box that I made this lariat necklace. All of this was with wire. And then I did a series of 3 necklaces from the Wizard of Oz box. This was the Jesse James Beads Magical Mystery Bead box. And I did one with Dorothy where we made a ruby slipper and then strung up some beads that made us think of her. And then this one, I love this one. This was my Glinda one. And it's basically, I made these dangles with some of the beads from the Glinda box, and then we strung it on some SilverSilk leather chain. So you'll see how this hangs on my neck when I try it on. And I made some earrings to go with it. And then the third one in that series was this one. It was for Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. with some of these others, and then I used some SilverSilk pipe chain to go with it. I have a lot of SilverSilk in this week's stuff, I'm realizing. This next week is probably going to also be SilverSilk heavy. So I've got all of those, and then just today I published a super simple, super quick, minimalist vampire bite necklace, also using SilverSilk. And then when I was unboxing my curated bead box, I was super curious to see if I could use these purse charms as a little connector for 2 strands in a bracelet, and it works so well. I was so happy to see that that happened. So this was an on-the-fly, totally spur-of-the-moment design that happened after my unboxing with the most recent curated bead box. I'll put a link to all of these in the description below. I'll put a link to the entire unboxing for this curated bead box, and then I'll have a separate link that goes just to the tutorial for this if you want to jump to that. So let's go up to the face-to-face cam and we'll try these on so you can see what they look like on a person. Okay, so let's do our bracelets. These were curated collections from Beads to Live By. This was the Ginkgo Kiss one. I did not do this particular bracelet on camera, but I do have a tutorial that I can link you that will show you how to make it just with different colors of beads in that tutorial. It's just one of my favorites. I've made it a few times for the tutorial, and then I just really wanted to make this with the colors from this month's curated collection, so I did that. And then I also, because I really wasn't done doing these like brick and tile kind of bracelets, I really wanted to get that on there with this flat mesh. Once again, featuring a lot of SilverSilk this week. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Let's get the toggle clasp closed though. Why am I so bad at clasps? Come on, buddy. All the way through. You can do it. I believe in you. I have been successfully able to close this. I wore it like for a couple of days, just wearing it while I was going around doing things. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with it on camera anymore. This is supposed to be a fun time and not like watch Becky fumble with bracelets time. Oh, but then still with more flat mesh, we have these earrings. I love them. I am so happy with the way that they turned out. They were a lot of fun to make, and again, I used the curated collections from Beads to Live By on these. Where's the hole in my ear? Did I find it? I have a hole there. You can see it. There we go. I got it in. So you can see. It's nice and big. It swings. It does the fun things that what are they called? Earrings should do. What are they called? Okay, and then this one was super fun to make. It was with that bezel with the little tiny daggers. It's one of my favorite things to do with the daggers, is just make them all like sunshiny. So I think I'm just not good at clasping anything right now. There we go. That's how it hangs. That's how it looks. I love this. I love this. I need to make some earrings to go with this. And a bracelet. Although I think what I'm going to do is do Danielle's tutorial for those earrings, the fringe earrings. They look fantastic. Because she has so many tutorials for that box. And then there was this lariat necklace. I made sure it was big enough to go over the head so that you didn't have to worry about a clasp. And there it is. I'm going to scooch back just a little bit so you can see more. If you want to see the nice skull guy right there. Because it is spooky season. It is. So you've got that. It's asymmetrical. And this was a fun thing to make, and I really love copper and like turquoise or this light blue. Here we go. Whew. Okay, everything else has clasps, don't worry. And then we've got our Dorothy necklace that I made with wire wrapping. So we got our guy there. And then the Glinda one. Oh, I love the Glinda one. This was such a fun. I think my favorite part about this is the fact that these spacers, because they fit exactly on here, I was able to space them where I wanted them to be. And they'll keep these dangles also where I want them to be on this leather chain. It was a really... Where are we going? Come on. That's how that one hangs. This was such a great Jessie James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box. I love everything about it. I think I've used most of the beads in there by now. I think there are a few that I haven't gotten to yet. I might do a bracelet. There's little earrings with hearts and everything. I love this one. And then let's take a look at our Wicked Witch of the West one. This is so much fun. Alright. Again, I used more SilverSilk on this one. This one was pipe chain. And this was a custom pipe chain, this blue and green. I can't remember which collaboration it was for, or if it was for a pop-up shop, but I'm really glad I had it in my stash because it was perfect with this. There we go. Sparkly. I like this one too. I like a lot of the things that I make. Weird, right? And then this was one that I made today. And I think I actually might remake it because the more I look at it, the more I think that these two little droplets need to be spaced a little further apart. So I might remake it and space them out a little bit further. It's one of those, I did it and then I'm like, but I can do it better. I can do it better. This is supposed to be a choker, so let's get it chokered on here. Yeah, I think they need to be spaced a little bit further apart, like this one over here a little bit more. But, you know, for having an idea and then being like, let's see if it works. And it mostly works. So I just need to have them a little bit further apart, I think. So, you know, if you're going to do one of these, do it a little bit further apart than I did. And you'll really love it. It was super easy to do. If you don't do bead weaving, but you have like some beading thread and you want to try it out, all you're doing is basically just attaching just a little 2-section fringe to this. That's all it is. It's like 2 little fringe segments onto some SilverSilk, onto the capture chain. And then this I also did today, and you may have already seen this get uploaded, but these little purse charms, right? They're purses, they're charms. I decided to use them in a completely different off-book way and make a bracelet that does some crisscross applesaucing. It helps to stick your tongue out. I don't know how it works, but it works. Just trust me on this. And there we go. I have my fancy bracelet that I made with my curated bead box, and like, that's dressy, you know? There we go. I made this just right at the end of my my unboxing. I was super inspired. I was like, let's make some stuff. Because I was so curious as to whether or not this would work as that kind of finding, and it turns out it did. I figured out how to make it work. So I'm really happy about that. Anyway, so this last week, it's been busy at home and at work. We've got several projects that we're doing. There's lots of stuff that I've been needing to take care of at home. My son went away to his cousin's wedding, and then he came back and, you know, needed a little bit of extra help, and he's been sick, and it's entirely possible, because that's the way germs work, that he will have passed that on to me. It's just a head cold, but he had a day where he couldn't speak. Like, just his throat was not good. He's mostly just stuffy right now. That's all. So if I get a little bit of that illness, there may be a day or two that I'm just not going to be recording anything, because I'm just not going to feel up to it. You know, it happens. Probably won't, because he's being very good about germ transmission and that sort of thing, but I am, you know, living in the same house as him, so it's entirely possible that that's what's going to happen. What am I doing this coming week? I think I'm going to be doing more SilverSilk stuff because of that diet challenge. It is such a fun thing to have a challenge, to have something that gives you a prompt that you can use for inspiration. That's what this was. It was from the SilverSilk diet challenge, and it was so much fun to like figure out and make. And it was super easy. Like, you don't have to do super complicated things with some of those challenges. Sometimes simple is best. Sometimes just having a pair of earrings that are like, that's something that I want to do. I have so many leaf beads, y'all. I have been collecting them from like Bead Box Bargains and all of these other things. I don't have them to hand right now, but I have so many of them. I want to do a, just make a bunch of leafy fall earrings, because I am feeling it. So let's do one of those this week. It will be one of my longer videos because I'm going to be making a lot of earrings with you, but I think you like my longer videos. Most of you do anyway, and I will try to do timestamps for each one, so that if you want to jump ahead to one or two of them instead of watching the whole thing, you can do that. So I'm trying to do timestamps no more when there's stuff that you might want to skip ahead for. It's just something that I think helps with watching if you're into that. But yeah, I'm gonna do some fall earrings. It's still like 90 degrees outside in Texas. It's hot. So fall exists in my mind right now, and we can do that. We can make it exist on the bead mat too. We can get that all together. Anyway, I probably have to run, go make some dinner, go take care of some other things. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say thank you to my friends for hanging out with me, for spending some time with me. I let you know during some of my videos how much I appreciate you, but I wanted to let you know here how much I appreciate you and the time that you spend with me. One of my friends let me know that they really appreciated my teaching style, that I tried to be thorough, to not assume prior knowledge, but I also don't just assume that people are dumb about things. And it's like, no, if you're here to learn something, I'm here to teach it. If you already know something, you know, you can wait for me to explain to somebody else who's new or something like that. But everything that I learned, I didn't know at one point. You know, and there's nothing wrong with not knowing things. Nothing wrong. And that's what we're all here to do, right? We're here to learn from each other, we're here to support each other, and we are here to make pretty things. And I love to make pretty things with you. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic week. I don't know what day my earring video will be because, you know, work has been busy. Life stuff gets in the way. But I am going to try to get that put together so that we can have that this week, because I think we need to wear more earrings. I only had 2 earrings that I did this last week. And so if we have, you know, 9, 10 fall earrings, I'm going to come up with some good ones for you, because I have a bunch of different leaf beads, some that are like center drilled, some that are top drilled side to side, some that are top drilled the other way, and like there are different ways that you can put them together with beads, and I want to share those with you. Another one of my friends here on the channel had asked if I had any advice on how to work with leaf beads, because they have a bunch too. So look forward to that. This week, we're doing it. Leaf beads. We're doing some fall stuff. I am so ready for fall. So ready, you don't even know. Like, I have been baking pumpkin things. It's 90 degrees outside. I'm ready for fall. Anyway, I hope you all are having a fantastic, fantastic week. And I am so grateful that my friends in Florida were able to stay safe during Milton, and that we're all making it through things all together. So I have been thinking about you. I have been hoping that everything was work out for you, and I'm very glad that you are still here. Bye for now.